Good morning, everyone. My name is Miranda. In the absence of everyone, we will just start now with the session. Um, I'm going to share my screen so that we may see what's going on in the screen. And please feel free to also follow on your side. And if you have any questions, feel free to stop me at any point during the session. Thank you. Okay, thank you. So today the topic that you are going to be discussing is desktop setup. This is where you will be learning how to work with multiple windows, how to work with tabbed windows, different time formats and all that. This is a way in which you will be customizing your own desktop as you're working. The changes that you will be applying under this topics that we will be covering today, they will not be affecting other people on the same IP address. It will just be the changes that you make to your own workspace. Okay, so by default, when you log into workflows, you cannot open more than one screen. You cannot open more than one window. So you will need to enable multiple windows so that you can be able to move faster through the screen and be able to navigate between different wizards at the same time. Let me show you how by default workflows is. For example, if you click on item search and display and you search for something, and then you try to click on let's say smart pot, you will get a message saying there are open wizards that require attention. Please close the wizards. So this is how by default workflows is given to you. So in order for you to be able to open more than one window at the same time, you will follow the steps that I'm going to demonstrate just now. The first thing that you're going to do, let me close here. You will click on preference, and then you will click on desktop, and then you will click on desktop setup. When you click on desktop setup, you will scroll to the very bottom. At the bottom, you will see three options. The first one is multiple windows mode. The second one is tabbed windows. And the last one is tabbed windows on bottom. So the one that we are going to demonstrate for now is multiple windows mode. So we'll click on multiple windows mode and click OK. And then we will have to restart our session so that these changes can come into effect. So we'll just log out. Oh, sorry. Let's give it a second. Okay, so for multiple windows, it will enable you, like for example, if you click on item search and display, you search for something, then you click on smart pot, it will allow you to be able to go to smart pot again, even though you have an open window already for item search and display. In this way, you can be able to work with more than one screen. Is there any question? Anik? Okay, I'll just continue. So in this way, you will be opening more than one window at the same time. And then for you to be able to go back to the previous window, you will have to close the one that you have opened, and then it will enable you to go back to the previous window. However, there's also another way so that will enable you to move from one window to the other without closing the other. And to achieve that, you will still go to preference again, click desktop setup, and then at the very bottom, you enable tabbed windows. You enable tabbed windows and click OK. It will give you a pop-up saying these changes will not go into effect until you restart the workstation, meaning that you have to log out of workflows first. Let's do so. Okay, so before we logged out, we enabled tabbed windows so that you can be able to navigate between two windows at the same time. And to demonstrate it, we'll just click on item search and display again. Water, and then click on smart pot, for example. You see the window is tapped on top, and then you can still be able to go back to item search and display without the system sending an error that you can't open more than one window at the same time. This will be the first trick that we are going to demonstrate today. Is there any questions on this? In the absence of any question, we will move on to the next part, which is, let's see, let me close this one first. Okay, the next tip that we are going to do now will be the themes, to customize different themes on your screen, so that when you log in, maybe you are interested in a certain color, you don't like the original color that you see on your screen, you can change it so that it will display the color that you want. And in order to do that, let me restart the demonstration. In order for you to change the different themes, you will go to preference, click desktop setup, and then you will scroll down to themes. You can change any theme that you like. For instance, maybe you want purple, you can select purple and click OK. Then your screen will change into the theme that you want. You can select different colors according to your preferences. Another trick that we will be looking at today is the default toolbar. So normally when you log into workflows, it normally defaults to a certain module. Like when you log in, it might immediately default to circulation, or it might immediately default to cataloging. All this is determined by this setting here, which is called the default toolbar. So in order for, maybe you are a cataloging librarian, or maybe you are a systems administrator and you have got access to all the modules, but you want every time you log in to be able to navigate the cataloging module. So you will just click here and select the module that you want it to be default and click OK, and then restart the workstation again. This way. So now you see that immediately we logged into workflows, it took us to the cataloging module. It means, like, as a systems administrator, you know that immediately you open your workflows, you will start doing the cataloging duties. And in order to achieve this, you have to enable cataloging as a default toolbar. Let's take a look at another tip that we can look at. So another tip that I can give you is the 24-hour clock format. So what this setting does is to enable any gadget that uses time, such as when you are modifying due dates, or when you are running reports to select a specific date. If you want it to use the 24 clock format, that one where 2 p.m. is going to be 14:00 instead of the 12-hour format, you will have to enable it here. You just click on this to enable the 24-hour clock format, and then you click OK. And then, as always, you will need to restart your workstation. Let's give it a second. It's going to take some time. So since we have enabled the 24-hour clock format, in order for you to see how it works, let's go to circulation, click special, modify due dates. Let's load any user that we have on the system. and then select here. You see now the time is 14:00. It means like this is the 24-hour format. But if you want to use the 12-hour format, you are going to go still to the same place, preference, then you go to desktop, then you click on desktop setup, and then you will disable the 24-hour clock format and click OK. And then when you click on this, let's see, it will change the time into the 12-hour format. It's no longer writing 14:00, it's writing 02:00. This is how you will enable the 24-hour clock format and the 12-hour clock format. Let's see the next one. Okay, the next one will be the display date format. So we have got different ways in which one can view the times, or rather the date on the system. You can either use the default one, which is specified on the server, like the clock format that your server is using. If maybe it's using the American, if it's using the Arabic or Asian, it will default to it if you click the server specific format. So for now, let's do the American format. You will click on, let me cancel and just go to this stage well. You will click on preference, and then you will click on desktop, then you will click desktop setup, and then you will see display date format. And if you want the American time format, where it's going to show you the month and the date and the year, you will click on the American format and then click OK. And then let's open it again. Or does it need us to restart the workstation? Let's see. So we wanted to see the American time format. You will click on special, then you will click on any gadget that uses the date to see how the time looks. And then for now, we'll use this modified due dates, and then you will load any user. Then you will see that it uses the month April the 30th, 2026. This is the American time format. It uses the month, the day, and the year. And then if you want to change to another time format, depending on your preferences, you can still go back and then select Arabic. This one is the Arabic time format that is like mostly dominant in the Arabic countries, where they combine Arabic numerals as well at the end of the time. So if this is your preference, you may select it accordingly in here. This is where you will select the different time formats that you want. Is there any question? Am I being too fast? Okay, in the absence of any question, we will continue. The next part will be the maximum response size. So normally when you log into workflows, it shows you that it's connecting, and after some time it will give you an error message if maybe the server is down, you cannot access workflows. So that is the response size. For example, let me show you. Let me just log out. My God. So did you see my screen before I logged in? There is like logging into the workstation, and then immediately it popped up this login screen where I input the user ID and the PIN. So this, like the duration of this time before this login screen pops is determined by the maximum response time. So if you have got a shorter one, immediately after that time relapses and you have not yet connected to the login screen, is going to give you an error, that timeout or screen timeout, or give you an error. So it's very advisable to have maybe a longer time that will enable you to log in, even though it's giving you an error, you can still like wait for a specific amount of time. So for now, we'll click OK. Yeah, so that will be it for the response size. So in here, it's showing us that it is like, is it 5 million seconds before logging in timeout? And the next setting is the opening wizard. Remember, we have dealt with the opening module, or the default, was it the default toolbar? Yeah, so now we are going to be dealing with a specific wizard, like which wizard do you want it to open before you start doing your job, like immediately you log into workflows, which wizard do you want it to open? And remember, when we are talking about wizard, we are talking about all these options under the group of wizards, like checkout, discharging, fine free discharging, all these things are wizard. So here you are telling the system which wizard should open first when you log into the system. So for now, we see that the default is none, meaning that immediately you log into workflows, if you have specified the module, like let's say if you said you want cataloging to be the default module, when you open your workflows, it will just take you to the cataloging module. But if you specify a wizard here, that will be the wizard that immediately opens when you open workflows. For instance, let's say we want add title to be the wizard that opens when we log into workflows. So we'll set it here and click OK, and then let's log out. And you see the wizard, immediately we opened workflows. This was the wizard that immediately opened the add title wizard. And in order for you to enable it, just a recap, you will go to preference, then you will click on desktop, then click desktop setup, and opening wizard here, you will specify the wizard that needs to like open immediately you open workflows. Is there any question on this? Okay, in the absence of any questions, we'll just continue. The next setting that we are going to look at, let's see. Okay, the proxy server configured. I think this is more of systems administration, so I'm not going to talk about it. I will be talking about the default help topic. The default help topic, on workflows, if you need information about a certain function, you can just click help and then it will give you information about that. So if you click on default help topic, maybe you say it's academic reserves, it means immediately you press on the help button, it's going to take you to the academic reserves. For example, let's put academic reserves. Okay, let's restart the workflows. Okay, so we have enabled that we want academic reserves to be the default help topic. So when we click on help, just that my help files here are not working, but we can you see that it's now defaulting to academic reserves. Like this just that this page doesn't load on my side, but it would default to academic reserves, meaning that the information, the help information displayed here will be related to academic reserves. Yeah, and that will be it for today in the absence of any question. The trick for today was just desktop setup, how to set up your desktop so that you can work efficiently and faster on your system. Yeah, that will be the end for me. Is there any question, any comment? Okay, guys, in the absence of any question, this will bring us to the end of our session. As always, if there is any issue that you experience, you can always email rfa@uks.co.za, and then your queries will be attended to. Thank you so much for attending.